Anna Kasparian decided to do like a video on Jordan Peterson. Now, the delivery method in which she does this is actually an interesting way. I don't think it's. I think that. Well, she's basically reading a script, but I feel like that's for this that might be optimal because it's the sort of specific segments in which you're specifically trying to put out your arguments against someone. So I guess it makes sense, and I guess that whole idea does fit. But I think it's called hashtag no filter is basically the segment name, and I think she's been doing this with other people as well. Now I believe that the first no filter that she did was to there was I think a Playboy article, which I don't understand why Playboy would write the article. It doesn't make sense to me, but they said that it's terrible that she's working for a boss who's an Armenian genocide denier. And then basically she talked about it. She just fucking slaughtered them, by the way. I recommend you check out that video. It's pretty much a brutal massacre is pretty much what it was. Pretty brutal fucking massacre. Now, she also had lifted her silence on Dave Rubin and just completely shat all over Dave Rubin. And it was pretty fucking bad. It was a pretty bad expose, and it was pretty damn funny too, and I think it was pretty truthful, to be honest with you. Now, she went after Jordan Peterson, and I thought that the video, I thought it was actually pretty concise. I feel like she tried not to strawman or misrepresent Jordan Peterson really in any way, or at least not that I saw. And it has absolutely gotten rated by Jordan Peterson fans as of right now. It's all the way up to 10,000 dislikes. The crazy thing is just a couple days ago, the video is at like 3,000 dislikes or some shit like that. So I don't know how the fuck it jumped from like 3 or 4 to 10,000 in like 2 to 3 days, because that's a lot of fucking dislikes on a video. But this is a common theme amongst videos about Jordan Peterson, is that Jordan Peterson has these, rabid fans where they just sort of go and just support blindly whoever it is. I thought that Anna Kasparian actually had some pretty good criticisms of Jordan Peterson. One of those criticisms being that he was sort of saying that like the left wants opportunity of or equality of outcome, as if that was some sort of even really like measurable or large group of the left, which is it's just not. You know what I mean? That's not an actual like sizable group by any shape or form whatsoever of the left wanting equality of outcome, and that's what's known as straw man. Now also something else that I think she touched on was something I also talked about was where, he's all against, he often puts in the scare move, oh, they want equality of outcome, and he's super against that, and I am too. I don't think equality of outcome is a good idea. I'm not for that, okay? I'm for equality of opportunity, of course. But he then, he's basically advocating for an attempt at equality of sexual outcome. He's basically a sexual socialist, which is fucking weird, right? Socializing sex, essentially, almost. Now, of course, you guys know about the infamous term enforced monogamy, which is extremely poorly worded, because when you hear enforced monogamy, you think of actual enforcement, but there is no fucking enforcement. So it's a stupid ass word, and people get tricked by it because it sounds like the government is going to enforce monogamy, but that's not what it's doing. But it's like, okay, but you call it enforced monogamy, so like what the fuck are people supposed to think it means? But anyways, all against equality of outcome until it comes to fucking. We want to have as much equality of outcome as possible with that, which is something that's sort of contradictory. And he talked to Joe Rogan about it, and he sort of had to backtrack, and he shifted the goalpost from being, I want to do this because we need to stop the attacks that are happening by these incels. But then, later on he goes, oh, I'm doing it for the kids. So he's goalpost shifting is what he's doing. But I thought Anna did a pretty good video on it, despite all of the Jordan Peterson fanboys and the sycophants who are rating the video. But you should check it out. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below.